is up? It's your boy Kate Sif Wins back on my next video, and this time we got a pretty tight gameplay here. As basically, whenever you land at the buildings on this map, you know you're going to get into a lot of fights because this is the most populated area on this map. And let me tell you something right now, we get into this building, we land, and we stay there for, seems like forever, because basically we get trapped like rats. There's so many teams around here that, you know, you go out, you're pretty much, your chances of surviving are pretty much up a rat's ass. But somehow, someway, we're able to survive all this shit. You can watch our struggles, you can watch my struggles and laugh at them, because trust me, it was a struggle indeed. But instead of talking about this gameplay for the entire footage, I decided, you know what, I feel like it'd be a good time to talk about certain things going on in the entertainment right now. And one of the things I like a lot in entertainment is definitely movies, and I guess in this case comic book movies. And obviously with comic book movies being, you know, pretty big deal nowadays, I figured we'd talk about the thing that it's been over a week since it was revealed that it's real, but I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the Justice League Snyder Cut. Now, to put things in perspective, I knew that there's probably a version of this movie. I never thought we'd ever see the light of day of it. But we are going to see the light of day, and it's going to get in a release on HBO Max next year. And honestly, I can't really believe it. But to just show you where I sit on the whole thing, I was actually surprised that, because I see so many people come out saying, oh my god, we're glad they're doing it, we're glad they're doing it, thanks for listening to fans. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Justice League, the original Justice movie, was something that people hated. I thought people didn't like it. I don't like it. I thought it was a terrible movie. I did not like it at all. So I was thinking, why would people want to see another version of something they hated? You know, it wasn't a movie that was very much appreciated by a lot of fans. It was a movie that failed in so many ways, and I just thought it was kind of an insult to the DC characters in the movie. But, you know, it is what it is. But I was just thinking, why are people saying that this is something they're glad to see? But apparently it is going to be happening, and from what I'm being told is that it is going to give Zack Snyder, I heard, like $30 million or something around that much to finish it. I'm just not in that group of people that are excited, because I'm just questioning, what is the point? Like, what is really the end goal here? Like, what do you hope to get out of this? And I'm guessing they think maybe they can get some excitement to get people to get the HBO platform streaming service, HBO Max. I don't know. I thought they were doing a Green Lantern show. I think that'd be something more worthwhile. But why bring back something that was just not liked so much? That's what I don't understand. Something that was universally, you know, hated, panned, and, you know, critically and financially. Just that's what I'm trying to understand. Not to mention, not everybody that's a part of the project during that movie is going to be available. Like, you know, you don't have a Ben Affleck in there. Is he going to come back and redo his lines? Henry Cavill, and we're going to get to him eventually, but he's not right now. Been doing his thing, but according to other rumors I've heard, apparently he's in talks to coming back and doing some cameos as Superman, not necessarily a sequel. But I've also heard that that's not 100% true either. It's just rumors. Who knows? But my thing is just that I'm just like, again, why are we going back to something that wasn't like, you know, if I was Warner Brothers, and I'm not Warner Brothers, I'm not trying to be them, but if I was them, I'd be more worried about getting things that you're trying to get out for this year, like trying to worry about movies that haven't come out yet, trying to worry about them getting released or whatnot and being the best they can. You know, you got a little movie called Wonder Woman 1984, and it's been delayed a few times, obviously for reasons, you know, because it was supposed to come out last year, but they pushed it back to this year. Now, obviously, with the whole pandemic going on right now, everything's been delayed and pushed back. But I'm just thinking, you know, shouldn't you use all that, instead of wasting funds on movies that have already been come out and been a disaster of all things, why don't you, like, use all of your manpower to make sure not just that movie, but all the other movies, like the Batman movie, the Suicide Squad movie, that they come out and that they're the best possible products they can possibly be. Like, I don't get the whole Justice League thing of, You know, let's just waste more manpower and time and yada yada yada. As I said, I'm just trying to, and let me know in the comment section what you think they're trying to get out of this. Or do you think they're trying to re-spark, you know, interest in doing another Justice League in the future? And fortunately, I go down here, and I'm going to be doing a lot of crawling in the near future because I'm going to be there a lot. But basically, you know, I want DC movies to be good. I love DC characters, but I don't know. I never wanted this. I have no desire to see it. I know some people are going to be like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to get more context and scenes. Guys, there's nothing you can do to make me want to see this movie, because the only way this movie can be good is if you remake the entire movie. Because the whole concept, you know, trying to be introduced to characters from the very beginning, just how it's really not a team movie. It's just more like one character does everything. The others are just, you know, not even, they're worthless in this movie. It's just so many things I don't like. I don't care if I see Darkseid. Well, I heard apparently going to have two Darkseids, like him when he's an adult and him when he's a baby. So I don't know, but like I don't care. Like it's irrelevant at this point. You know, see Darkseid, cool. But and also another thing, I look at it like this: I spent money to see the original movie in theaters. I didn't like it. Why in the world would I want to give more money to see just another version of the same thing I don't like? That's just how I look at it. If it was a brand new movie or something like that, that'd be different. But what is the whole point there? And I get taken out like a bitch. Well, luckily for my teammate, one of them does survive and is able to get both our banners. But you're gonna see out of the fire and into the frying pan. You're about to see real quickly see her, but basically, I just rather see new things. Like I'm not one of those like extended cut, different cut. You know, just if the main movie is that good, and it's that good. If it's not, it's not. I don't want to see other versions of the same thing. Like I'm just not one of those extra extended edition type people. But Justice League just was not a good movie. It's just not a good film, and that's just where my confusion. Because maybe I could understand it if it really was a good film. And people like to see this new extended version that adds more context to the whole thing, but it's just, that's not the case here. That's what I'm boggled by. Everyone's like, oh, this is great. This is what fans wanted. And I mean, I don't speak for everybody, but I don't remember a lot of people being happy for this movie coming out. But not to mention, Zack Snyder doesn't have the greatest track record with his movies either. I know some people like them, and that's fine, but I'm not one of them. Talk about just instant going down, bam. I go down again, but somehow I don't get finished off. I'm able actually to crawl to my team, because you got this team that's coming in trying to shoot us, and then we get the other team that we ran away from. They're going to come in and try to finish it off, but somehow, some way, we are going to make it out of this. The struggle is real. It's kind of, I guess, parallel to how Warner Brothers has struggled over the years. I mean, good God, we are crawling to the finish line. But luckily, my team, they are very competent and good enough to survive and, you know, get me up and get some good shit so we can continue the game. But as I said, I love DC. I love the whole property of DC Comics. I love the characters. And I want things to get good. So let's just say the planets align, and somehow, some way, the Snyder Cut is a competent thing. It does renew interest in the franchise and the DCEU, and because I've always said this about the DCEU, the best movies are the solo movies. And when they try to team up everybody, they just have not figured out how to do that. So stick with your solo movies. But I was thinking, you know, obviously one of the cooler parts of Justice League, one of the few things I did like was, I guess, the end when they had Lex Luthor talking to Deathstroke on the ship, and I was thinking, you know, they talking about forming a league and the Legion of Doom. I was thinking, hey, we got Wonder Woman 1984. Hopefully, it comes out this year. You got Shazam 2, the Batman, Aquaman 2. They're trying to do a Flash movie. You know, that's been in developmental hell. I'm hoping that somehow they can get a Man of Steel 2. I know apparently that's like taboo for them. There's also a Black Adam movie. I'm really curious to see how that's gonna work out. And then they're doing the Suicide Squad. But I was thinking a lot of those movies keep their villains alive. Like, you know, Wonder Woman 1984, you got Cheetah. I'm assuming Shazam 2 is... I heard something that's not going to be Black Adam. It might be that... I I can't remember their name, but that evil society that at the end of the first season we had that caterpillar thing in a jail cell. You know, the Batman, as I said, I don't know. I know everyone says, oh, it's not connected, it's a different thing. Who knows? They can easily change that. You know, money talks, and they can easily change that and what happened. The Flash, you know, if I had to pick a villain, I would go with, for First Flash, I could do Captain Cold. Man of Steel 2, if they ever had to do a sequel, I've always said this, because they keep talking about doing a, yeah, another project they keep trying to talk about is, like, possibly doing a Supergirl movie. They keep talking about, like, hey, that was what they wanted to do, and then they cancel it and then bring it back. Here's an idea. Do a Man of Steel, you could adapt a famous Superman storyline. You could, I think it's called, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's called The Last Son of Krypton, but it's a story basically where Kara comes to Earth in a ship, and she warns Clark about Brainiac. So you can involve Supergirl, have her team up with Superman, and also involve a villain, because I like villains, and use a villain we've never seen in a Superman movie before, is Brainiac. And have them have, you get the best of both worlds. And I'm not going to lie here, I almost fall off here, because I'm just like sliding down here, I'm just like, I almost killed myself right here. I really do. I know it didn't look like it that much, but because I just thought it was all solid ground, wasn't even paying attention. But and luckily we get a little lucky here, because we were going to counter our last two squads, and they're going to be fighting each other, so we get a little benefit here, even though we almost, or I almost messed it up big time. But yeah, like, use all these villains in all these solo movies, because also I guess they have Black Manta and Aquaman too. That'd be his main villain. But have all these villains come later, team up with Lex Luthor, and maybe one day get a Justice League versus Legion of Doom. I mean, would that not be cool? Because one thing they could say is that would be kind of cool, because usually when you have these team-up movies, they're always fighting a bunch of cannon fodder. Like, it's never, like, you might fight the one dude, but then you just have a million of his henchmen, or in this case, parademons, or whatever it is, alien species. Instead, you'd actually have every hero fighting a competent villain, which would be very cool on a large-scale battle. But that's the best case scenario here, because I've always said this, there's a difference between what I want them to do and what Warner Brothers is going to do, and unfortunately they're not the same thing. And one of these days, maybe one of these days, I'll wake up and figure it out. But because as I said, they're capable of making solid solo movies. They've always been able to make good, decent, solid movies. I'm not saying they have to be masterpieces, but just fun, solid movies that can be really good. But nonetheless, it's frustrating. It really is. And you know, me being a big DC fan, I one day just hope we could have like that conversation of, man, DC movies are great. They're fun. Not all this, you know, oh my God, is it going to be terrible, or is there going to be good conversation we always seem to have with them? And I get really, really lucky here. Gibraltar's always seemed to bring out the worst in me because of all that health, and man, I should have, I'm not gonna lie, those bullets, I don't know how they didn't hit me, and maybe it's bullet registration. I heard they fixed it, but I'll be honest, I thought they hit me, and I get real lucky that they back off, because I should have been dead there, because if I went down, yeah, we're not winning this game, definitely. There's no way we're gonna win. When I'm able to heal up, and I notice, hey, the storm's moving, so my decision is, you know, get in the circle, and hopefully we can meet them coming towards us, because you know, you don't want to take that storm damage, and the storm is going to play a factor here. So my teammates decide, hey, they're going to stick around and attack, and I guess in a way they kind of give up their lives here, but it is not a lost cause. So because I'm thinking, you know, they're going to die, but they're going to do some damage, and I'm in a good spot because they got to come towards me, and they can't stop the move to heal because they're out in the open. So I do as much damage to the Havoc as possible. I down this one dude. The Gibraltar's kind of screwed. Loba tries to throw her ult, and I say, you know what? I'm a Wraith. Let's just play it safe. Go on Wraith more. Loba's going to die in the storm anyway, and that's exactly what happens. And we were able to pull out a victory. We go from trapped like rats to the winner's circle. You know, not a bad way to end things. Not a bad way to end things. And But that is going to be the end of my video. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think about the Snyder Cut. Are you excited for it? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? And do you think it can open up more things? Let me know what you think is going to happen for future DC movies. But thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, and peace.